The International Residential Code, abbreviated IRC, and the International Building Code, abbreviated IBC, generally do not mandate light fixtures or receptacles on balconies lacking direct access to ground level. However, it is crucial to understand that local building codes and ordinances can impose additional requirements beyond the national standards. These local regulations may indeed necessitate the installation of light fixtures, electrical receptacles, or both, depending on specific criteria such as balcony size, usage, or building type. Therefore, relying solely on the IRC or IBC might lead to non-compliance with local laws. To ensure adherence to all applicable regulations, one should meticulously investigate the specific building and electrical codes enforced by the local jurisdiction. This investigation should include contacting the local building department or consulting with a qualified electrical contractor familiar with the area's regulations. These resources can provide definitive guidance on whether light fixtures and receptacles are mandatory for balconies in that locality. Understanding the hierarchy of codes is essential. National codes like the IRC and IBC serve as model codes, offering a baseline for safety and construction standards. Local jurisdictions then adopt, amend, or supplement these model codes to address their specific needs and priorities. This means that a local code can be more stringent than the national code, but it cannot be less stringent. In the context of balcony lighting and receptacles, a local code might introduce requirements where the IRC or IBC remain silent. The rationale behind local requirements for balcony lighting and receptacles often revolves around safety, convenience, and aesthetic considerations. For example, lighting may be mandated to enhance safety during nighttime use, preventing accidents and deterring criminal activity. Receptacles may be required to facilitate the use of electrical appliances, such as outdoor lighting, entertainment devices, or cleaning equipment. Furthermore, local codes may incorporate design guidelines that emphasize the visual appeal of buildings, including the integration of lighting to create a more inviting and attractive environment. Ignoring local code requirements can result in significant consequences, ranging from construction delays to costly rework. Building inspectors are responsible for enforcing code compliance during the construction process, and any deviations from the approved plans can lead to rejection of the project. In severe cases, non-compliance can even result in legal penalties. Therefore, it is imperative to prioritize code compliance from the outset of any construction or renovation project. To determine the specific requirements for balcony lighting and receptacles in a given location, one should adopt a systematic approach. Firstly, identify the local building department responsible for enforcing codes in that area. Secondly, consult the relevant building and electrical codes to determine whether any provisions address balcony lighting and receptacles. Thirdly, if the codes are unclear or ambiguous, contact the building department directly for clarification. Fourthly, consider engaging a qualified electrical contractor to provide professional guidance and ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. When reviewing building and electrical codes, pay close attention to definitions and interpretations. The code may define terms such as balcony, grade access, and receptacle differently than commonly understood. These definitions can have a significant impact on the applicability of specific code provisions. For example, a code may define a balcony as an exterior platform that is supported by the building structure and that projects beyond the building's exterior wall. If a particular structure does not meet this definition, then the code provisions pertaining to balconies may not apply. Similarly, the definition of grade access can determine whether a balcony is considered to have direct access to ground level. If a balcony can only be accessed via an interior staircase or elevator, then it may be deemed to lack grade access, which could trigger different code requirements. The definition of receptacle can also be critical. A receptacle is typically defined as a contact device installed at an outlet for the connection of an attachment plug. However, the code may specify different types of receptacles, such as ground fault circuit interrupter, abbreviated GFCI, receptacles, which are designed to protect against electrical shock. The type of receptacle required on a balcony may depend on the location and intended use. In addition to building and electrical codes, Other local ordinances may also impose requirements for balcony lighting and receptacles. For example, zoning ordinances may regulate the type and intensity of lighting allowed on balconies, while fire codes may specify requirements for electrical wiring and equipment to prevent fire hazards. To ensure comprehensive code compliance, it is essential to consider all applicable local ordinances. When contacting the local building department for clarification, be prepared to provide detailed information about the project. This information should include the location of the property, the type of building, the size and configuration of the balcony, and the intended use of the balcony. The building department may also require submission of construction plans and specifications for review. It is advisable to document all communications with the building department, including the date, time, and name of the person contacted. This documentation can serve as evidence of due diligence in the event of any future disputes. Engaging a qualified electrical contractor can provide invaluable assistance in navigating the complexities of building and electrical codes. A licensed electrical contractor possesses the knowledge and experience necessary to interpret code requirements, design electrical systems, and install electrical equipment in accordance with applicable regulations. The electrical contractor can also assist in obtaining necessary permits and inspections. When selecting an electrical contractor, verify that the contractor is licensed and insured. Check the contractor's references and review their past work to ensure that they have a proven track record of quality workmanship. Obtain a written contract that clearly outlines the scope of work, the payment schedule, and the warranty provisions. Before commencing any electrical work, obtain all necessary permits from the local building department. Permits are typically required for any new electrical installations, modifications to existing electrical systems, or replacements of electrical equipment. The permit application will require submission of construction plans and specifications. The building department will review the plans to ensure that they comply with all applicable codes. Once the permit is approved, the electrical work can begin. During the electrical work, the electrical contractor will adhere to all applicable safety standards and code requirements. The electrical contractor will also perform inspections to ensure that the work is being done correctly. Upon completion of the electrical work, the building department will conduct a final inspection to verify that the work complies with all applicable codes. If the inspection is successful, the building department will issue a certificate of occupancy, which authorizes the use of the building. In summary, while the IRC and IBC do not generally require light fixtures or receptacles on balconies without grade access, local building codes and ordinances may impose such requirements. To ensure code compliance, it is essential to investigate local regulations, consult with the building department, and engage a qualified electrical contractor. By taking these steps, one can avoid costly mistakes and ensure the safety and functionality of balconies.